All right, here we go. A long, long time since I've streamed this game. Well, streamed in general. I'm about to stream a new game. Should be pretty fun. Check it out and we'll goes. Little game called Below that originally was on Xbox One as an exclusive. I plot to play it at PAX in 2014, and now a friend of mine generously gifted it to me. I got started a little while ago, and so far it's been a real. Without further ado, let's get started. All right. Controller is connected. I can get my. Have a PS4 controller connected. The time it worked beautifully, but today, deciding that. Plug it in. On. Quite nicely yesterday, so deciding not to. Restrain. It. But as you can tell, this game is quite lovely. Very beautiful, very nice little tilt shift effect. A whole bunch of other really cool things. Seems like it's a proper roguelike. There we go, that's better. Be stuck in. Oh dear, it's controlling. The controller seems to be controlling the mouse. That is not what I want it to be doing. Oh, gotta love doing these edits live. Isn't that the best? Yeah, general. There, I need to fix a thing. Hold on. That's why we're testing these things. There we go. Finally got it to work. Much better. There we go. All fixed. Alright. This is a beautiful little game. I can finally get started here. This little area is the area that you start. This is actually not the first little character I played as. Every single time you die, it seems like an entirely different new player gets loaded up. All with a different outfit and everything else like that. But you're able to go and whenever you die, you can find your old lantern, go ahead and adjust a whole bunch of different things there. But yeah, so it's pretty fun. There seem to be a few elements borrowed from Dark Souls. Very popular thing to mention, I imagine, but the closest thing I have to really compare it to. But it's really quite beautiful in a number of ways. The point of the game seems to be to get down as far as you possibly can, going down level by level until you reach something. I'm not entirely sure. I never read any of the backstory that came along with this game, so I'm not entirely sure what my main character is supposed to be doing here. But so far, I've managed to go down to level 2. I am on survival mode, which means I have to keep track of not only my own health, but I have to keep track of, at the top left, my how cold I am, how thirsty I am, and how hungry I am, in addition to everything else. And it's interesting. There's a little bit of crafting. I can make certain things by combining bundles of sticks and other items to make things like arrows or to make little band-aids. I can use those band-aids to, whenever I get hurt, I can use it to stop bleeding, which lets me heal myself. Well, prevent myself from getting hurt. But yeah, so I made it here. This is a little rest stop. It seems like this is a quick way to get to level 2 if I go in from the above. A bunch of sticks and other stuff up here. So now that I made it here, I can continue back on to where I was before. Where am I? So that's a little exit I made my way to. That's the map on the right. Little zone where I was able to get a chest on the far right. You see there's the little square that has a square below it. Well, diamond with a diamond below it. Nice. Because look at this, little foxes. I'm pretty sure I could attack those foxes and I would be able to get some... I don't know what this enemy is, but I'd very much like to know. If I attack it and kill it, it gets me string. To be honest, that wasn't worth it. Avoid that the next time that happens. These little traps over here, the one, all the spikes, I have to be very wary of those. If I trip one of those without poking it first, I will end up instantly dying, which is a bit of a problem. Okay, and alright, so I have to head down to the right, get to the next area. There seem to be a number of different traps that are all over that you can disable in various ways. I didn't learn how to disable that trap until last time. I had to a little jumping attack in order. Is a thing, I guess. Brand new zone over here. Alright, so that's an ember. I can use that to make fire arrows. I can use that to make a whole bunch of other stuff. So desire. I really want to make sure to cut those because it prevents me from running around. If I run over one of those strings, it makes me trip and fall. If I cut them before that happens, then that's not a problem. Is a way down that I went to. So it seems like every floor has a key. Once you get that key, you to put that key in a slot, and then that slot up the stairs that lets you go a floor that's a little lower. Ooh, enemies. These enemies are interesting. There are smaller ones like this. You kill one of those, and it lets you get another little blip in your lantern. Full. Might want rid of some of the things in my inventory now. Craft right now. I want to keep navigating around with the D-pad in this, but that's not the best idea, because using a D-pad actually sets a shortcut for weapons. I just make out of the three. Made a wheat. Craft anything of any of the items I have right now. I might need to end up dropping some stuff. Pick up more stuff now. Big enemy over here. Oh, a little lantern dotsman ball. Let's switch to the bow for this one. Actually, not while there's that many bats around me. Oop. Mistake. Needed to get the torch out. Get a hide, little morsel of food. Nice. When you kill some of the smaller enemies in this game, you can get morsels, you can get other little things. The bats are kind of annoying. They tend to swarm you and do all kinds of things. Hear a little bit of a yelling downstairs, don't mind that. My fiance tends to be a bit loud with these kinds of things. I'm playing games up here, he's playing games downstairs. It's always a difficult thing. What was I doing? Right. Up a bit. Let's see if I can craft some stuff with waste energy. Here, I can't see craft much of anything. I drop some stuff, shall we? Blood moss seems cool when you need bandages, but I can't. Right now, the ember seems to be the list of the items. Go ahead and drop. I think I pick up pins, be able to make something out of those. Come on, bats, can you stop swarming me for like 1 minute? Much like you to not do that. Okay. But I can make not much of anything, apparently. Back the leather on off, which is fortunate. Make much of anything like that. Drop that for now. That's unfortunate. Alright. Ah, that little slot up there is where I need to slot the next key. Now, equip the right kinds of arrows. Deal with this enemy from afar instead of close up, shall we? Better. Ow. Jerk. Ah, potato. They're very good to have. Oh my, is this the last? Like this is area here, as far as I can tell. That is that. Go ahead and ongoing. I can't here. Pick up the spike. That way, hasn't been too much that I've been able to use that for, but spikes seems like if you mix it with some other stuff, you can make like caltrops, other things, which can help you with enemies. It made it all the way down here. Very good. Another bottle, which looks like a healing potion, and a whole lot more arrows. Oh, that's really good. Up on Ember. Go ahead and our blood moss. I have 3 embers. Make some. We have a very meowy cat. Wonder, you have something to say? Hello, Riker. That's my cat on microphone. Very silly kitty indeed. Ember makes phosphor. That plus 6. Bomb arrows. Ooh, that is nice. That will be very useful. Oh, and I'm hungry. Well, I'm hungry. I have an item that broth. Help out a little bit. Yeah. Make some stew, shall we? Now this is interesting. It seems like if you have enough, you can use enough of the little lantern fuel that you've gotten, make this a thing you can teleport to. Otherwise, you have to go all the way back down to the same place, which I only have 22 and not 25, so I can't. Very unfortunate. But oh, get some water. That way I can make myself a soup. Let's go ahead and do that, shall we? Oop. Oh. Didn't want to make myself that, but whatever. All good here. Ahead and have that soup. Fill up my hunger now. Stuff. Ahead and make some more. That way I'll pull up for the next time this happens. Oh, nice. Now I have 2 things of stew. That should be able to fill up my hunger and my health when I need it. Right. Now that I'm here, on heading down, I way to head down. I can't actually see the way forward. Ah, I can't see a way forward because I have to make one. Many things you have to shine your lantern light on in order to move forward. Ooh. Oh, hello. Very interesting. Whoa. What happened there? Happened. Like a little... Oh, I can store things. Store the bomb. Extra. Like I can store special items if I need to. Have any key items to store here? I don't really store my bow. Red mushroom is vicious. Oh, interesting. I can store the lantern stuff. For 9 of them. Well, 12, so I only have 9 left. Like I can store these things. That way, every few floors I can just relax, get to this room, and then I can move on. I never really got this far. I didn't know that would boot me out. Huh. Right. Well, on to the next area. I don't want to use up my lantern stuff because I don't have that much left. Let's use the torch to sort of explore around. Those enemies, like those are double units. Good, getting more lantern. Oh no. Really annoying when the little dots fall off the edge like that. There we go. Pretty well so far. Got a single scratch. Like there sure are a lot of enemies to go around here. This is the interesting thing that I like about this, is there's just so much to explore so far. Oh, goodbye torch. I don't have any other torches. Oh no, I have 4 more. I gotta whip one out. I believe a stick, a string, and an ember gives me a torch, so if I find more, I should be able to just make more. Alright, next area. Like I have a choice of 2 ways to go. Really interesting, because when I played this at PAX 2014, of course this is when the game was still in very early access mode. Was that an enemy behind this door? Was. Right next to the entrance, weirdly. But when I played this back at PAX, most of the time was spent just climbing up a cliff and going to a secondary area before I had to move on to the next person. It's fun. Ooh, that's a big boy over there. I really don't want to take any chances. Oh. Well then. That's pretty good. Well, there's my one arrow that I use. More rocks. But I still really liked seeing the game back in 2014. Right around that time, that was when I first got into Dark Souls, and that was the type of game that I very much wanted to play all the time. So little games like this, when it's kind of the same, but does some very, very interesting things nonetheless. I like that. Good thing I turned that on. So to trigger these traps, all I have to do is give it a smack. I have to be careful not to walk over those accidents. It can cause problems. You're slow, but not too slow. And things seem to work out. That. Grab the torch. Ooh. You know, I probably shouldn't charge headlong burst into those. That would probably be a bad idea. What's funny, even before I started playing games like this, like Dark Souls, I mean, I played a game of what was almost a traditional rogue on a little iOS game. I can't quite remember now. I remember it was a version of Rogue where you could play multiple versions, well, multiple different characters, but it was traditional Rogue, essentially, like Rogue that was made on old computers, where you had to go all the way down to the bottom floor to get a dagger and then work your back up. Was it a sword or an amulet? I think it was the Amulet of Yendor that you had to get. I think that was the exact name. I've never actually played the original Rogue, which is actually a tragedy because it's amazing what games you could make on such simple hardware. But little games were needed a little exercise of consistency and making sure you just dealt with what you had. That sort of stuff is very interesting to me. Because little by little you learn the game's mechanics. Oh, I can't. Ooh, ouch. That's bad. Interesting. You have to dash behind them to do that. Oh my. Getting thirsty. Now I have this green elixir. Well, I'm getting thirsty and also hungry, so I think it's time for some stew. That's interesting. This area is very full of cliffs. I haven't... Far above, there was quite an abundance of water. Not really the case here. Oh, interesting. Look, I need to put something on a pedestal there in order to... There were two enemies there. Interesting. It's interesting because these traps you against enemies as well as yourself, that makes for some very fun decisions. The other fun decision being I can't hit these enemies without keeping in mind where the little things they drop will go once I smack them off a cliff. I always have to be very careful. Oh, nice, I can make more arrows. Alright, I have a lot of arrows, that's good. Band-aid, good. It's like I can't craft much like that. I think now that I have that, I can craft another band-aid. Fudge. I'm gonna need as many band-aids as I can get. Up. Interesting, because it seems like you don't really need light all that much. Not in here. But it's there if you want it, kind of. I'm gonna have to find a key for that other area, because I'd very much like to see that go. Snake, about to hurt me. That was good. They haven't given me too much problem thus far. Oh, good, water. More light in here, shall we? Progressing pretty very far, just down to one. Backtrack just a little. Other stuff is around. Ooh. That leaping attack goes for 2 hits. Insta-kill those. Quick enough. More spuds. Funny, you can pull up like potatoes or turnips. That counts as food. Totally eat that if my down pretty fast. Doesn't give you that much to stomp on, but pretty good. Enemies are difficult. Far. No, one again. Water is probably get rarer as I progress. By how much? Thing is, with these little torches, they'll eventually burn out. Collect the embers. That might be a good strat to do if I want to make bomb arrows. I can make phosphorus out of 3 of those embers. Yeah, very useful. 'Instead of hurting one of them. Ways to go. Far too many. Go more. Like. I'll drop. Nope. Head up. That takes me back to ledge. Here. 11. Interesting. We're up to 200 there. Does. Area. No, I can't light the grass on fire. If I could. Moss. Ember. Still guy. Want to explore. Bye. Ah, turnips. Crap down there. I can. Guard. Guard isn't. Go. Trying to get prepared by making myself so much. Find. Keep going. Another. Whoa. Ah, that's what that was all about. I found something similar in another area, and I had no idea what that was. Guess I know a little bit more about what that is. Nope. That was when I faff around too much. I don't. Got two. I kill that thing? Kill a few here. Ah, there we go. Nice. Now with that, phosphor. Now I have frozen. Well, right, and with getting pretty, it saves progress between. Below? That was below. Might stream again tomorrow. And then if you'd like to see more. Alrighty. Thanks everyone. Bye for now.